Hi everyone, my name is Anderson, and for my interview project, I decided to interview the man who inspired me to become an entrepreneur myself, Chris Anderson. Thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thanks for having me, Nikki.
Absolutely. So as we get started, would you mind explaining to me and everyone a little bit about your company and what you guys do?
Sure. Our company is called Cyber Investigation Services, or CIS for short. And what we are is a nationwide and to somewhat global firm that does cyber investigations. We do what's called litigation support, so we get involved in a lot of lawsuits and bad things. And then we also do a lot of work with big companies, global companies, and helping them keep people that are not supposed to be on Amazon and eBay from selling illegal products.
Would you mind explaining a little bit about your professional background and how you ended up doing this?
Sure. Well, as you probably know, took sort of a strange path in that I'm trained in school as an engineer, so I've got a PhD in electrical engineering. Worked in the Department of Defense as far as a contractor that worked for them. And it was right about the time, which you were pretty young at the time, but when the Berlin Wall came down. And what happened was the defense contractors were looking for a way to get into more commercial kinds of things, of regular products. And so that was always a fascination of mine. So I became part of a group inside of this government contractor company that really started looking at being more entrepreneurial. And that progressed to the point so much that I definitely fell in love with doing that. And then actually came and became part of the faculty of the University of Florida, largely because they encouraged you to do entrepreneurial things on the side in addition to teaching classes and things like that. And then from there I've started up a number of companies.
Okay, thank you. So now that you're doing this, what would you say your company is mostly doing?
The biggest bulk of what we do now, which is definitely a change, is we work for those bigger companies in keeping Amazon and eBay free of what's called unauthorized or illegal sellers. And so to give you an idea, without naming names of companies, is we've recently taken on a big sunglass company that most of you would know. And so on first run is they actually have about 1,200 illegal sellers that are improperly selling their sunglasses online. And so us working.
Now, since you said you changed, what did you originally do when you first started Cyber Investigation Services? What was your original plan and what were you doing with it?
Okay. Well, I started this company with my brother, who comes out of a law enforcement background, and but he was working with clients, small companies, to some degree just individuals, and they were finding out that they were getting attacked online, and many times it was a reputation attack. So like a small company would be getting destroyed on Yelp reviews or something like that. And so he had developed some of the tactics to do that, and then I came aboard in those very early stages when we co-founded the company. And so for several years, most everything that we did was dealing with individuals or small companies that were either getting attacked like that, or else, and believe it or not, there's just a ton of stalking and things like that going on. So we would help try to stop people that were stalking executives or hacking their phones or hacking their laptops. And
Now, you said so you started working with Whitney and your brother's on board with you too. Are there any other key employees that you would attribute the success of your company to and help guide the process of making all these transitions you've gone through?
Right. Yeah, definitely is. One of the people that we brought in is a software programmer, and strangely enough, is found him in the Ukraine. And so one of the things for entrepreneurs is that it's changing radically, is how you put together your team of people. But while I do some software programming and have frequently tried to do a lot of it myself, is when we were able to bring in Andre to do this, is it has just escalated our business so much because of his skill levels and professionalism. So the right now is frequently when we go in and interact with one of these larger companies, it's not like they haven't had some of these services before. It's just they're not working that well. So we're having to go up against some very strong companies that do related things to what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And so without a key employee like Andre on board to take our stuff to a whole different level, we would have never gotten here.
Now, you found him in Ukraine. How did you actually make your first contact and connection with him?
Well, there's outsourcing networks, and so for example, we utilize what's called Upwork, and these are just online portals that you can go to where you can take a job requirement. Mm-hmm. And then it's great because you've got all kinds of reviews and past history on the person. As an employer, I have reviews so they can check me out. And then like with him is what we did was we didn't start out even thinking we were going to do this with him full time, and we just started hiring him for odd jobs that we needed on the programming side. Mm-hmm. And since I've worked or hired a lot of programmers in my day, is that I quickly recognized that he was a tremendous asset, and so from there we just scaled it up into full time.
So your company's definitely made quite a few transitions throughout the years. How would you envision your company in a year from now?
Yeah, I would say over the next year to two is what we see is such a market demand for this particular product. Mm-hmm. Then it's going to be twofold. Is one, we see that doing everything possible to try to get essentially Whitney and this product spread as far and wide as we can. And then secondarily is there is a whole nother set of smaller manufacturing companies. So for example, is maybe a beauty or a skincare company, and they're not quite big enough yet to be able to afford all of the bells and whistles that Whitney and us bring collectively. But there's still some things that we can do to definitely help them. And so a big push of ours is going to be trying to open up markets in those smaller companies as well.
So you've definitely had quite an amazing journey as an entrepreneur. It's only continuing. What would be some advice that you would give young entrepreneurs?
Well, first off is that, in my opinion, the path that they're taking is smart, because I think with the world changing so much, is change drives a lot of people crazy. Mm-hmm. For entrepreneurs, it's a wonderful thing because mm-hmm. change equals opportunity. With that said, is probably the biggest misconception that people have about entrepreneurship is that you come up with this great idea and now you go build a company around that great idea. And while that happens every once in a while, it's more that you see an opportunity, and then you're doing things to grow a product, change the product, people don't like that, we need to spin it around this way. And it's this constant evolutionary process that gets you there, and which is totally different than how most people think companies actually get started.
Right, well thank you so much. I definitely learned a lot from talking to you.
Well, thank you.